So Griffin Media has been around for about 5 years. That's when...
Formally, yes.
Formally. But you've been doing your own thing for decades.
Wow, thank you.
Known for our podcast, episode 5, take 1.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started. I love this story. I've heard it many times. So I might add my 2 cents here and there.
I grew up in a house where my dad worked in video production. In the late 80s, 90s, he was an engineer. He always had cameras around that he was working or systems he was trying to fix. And I got to play with them. And very fortunate for that. Can't discount the impact that had, just having real tools and being able to experiment and learn and fail at a really safe age.
Yeah.
But then I got really involved in my church as a teenager. I and some friends were kind of doing video with kids and youth. They probably gave me way more responsibility than they should have at 13 years old. Like, hey, do you know how to mix audio? Sure. Yeah. Like, do you know how to?
I love the confidence. Yeah.
But yeah, we figured it out. I know a lot of our team has a similar story, so it's kind of fun. I see him smiling behind camera right now. But the first thing I really got plugged into was graphic design. Shortly after that, actually, it might have been web design right around the same time, learning to code. My HTML 1.0 book.
Yes.
I got Adobe Premiere version 1.1 on floppy disk. Got to install that. And the first render was going to take, I think it said 12 days or something ridiculous. Got to work with all the tools that aren't around anymore, Flash, but that kind of kept me agile, having to learn more new things, new technology. It taught that at a young age. And then I really got into graphic design. From there, was, hey, these motion graphics, it's kind of like a mix between Photoshop and Flash was.
Yeah.
So like I understood keyframes. I understood some of the, I learned that a lot of the software was really similar, and a lot of skills you pick up in one kind of transfers to the other. And I had this software available. So I got to practice, I got to play, I got to do cool things at the church where we served. I got to work with next to no budget, where we would spend our own money. I would save up and go buy lights at Guitar Center and install them and nail wires to the wall and break all the codes until they realized that we were breaking electrical code and had to run it the real way. At the same time, it was this weird mix of learn that in that environment where we just had to make do.
Yeah.
If we had an idea, it was up to us to figure out how to do it. But then the few weeks later, we would be at a conference, again, volunteering, but like, oh, all of a sudden, hey, here's all the real tools. Go and figure that out now. And it was still the same teenagers running everything and making the same mistakes, but it was fun.
So like being scrappy was really fun for a while. Got you, like, you learned a lot of things.
Learned a lot of things that still carry over today. The scrappiness factor of you make do with what's available. And now, I mean, if we fast forward too much, I think there's more to the story, but we have a lot of tools available now. Our agency's thriving. We work with really great people that bring their own tools. We are able to work with, I think, smaller teams and achieve bigger things with less tools still because of the mindsets that developed of finding creative ways to get it done.
Yeah.
Is you have an idea and you go chase it. And it might not be the same way they did it in Hollywood, but we did it. Starting working with teams, kind of unintentionally.
Yeah.
Early 20s.
2020.
No, my early 20s.
Oh.
Like, hey, it'd be fun to direct movies. So we call friends and like, I think the 7 people showed up the first time. It's like, hey, let's try a gunfight. And we had fake guns. We didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't know a lot of the technical things about like jumping the line or like where you're supposed to position cameras and stuff like that. But we figured it out really fast. And put some stuff on YouTube. It was really fun. The next time we did it, I think we had like 12 people show up because they saw the first one and they're like, hey, I want to be a part of that.
All that momentum, yeah.
And the momentum really built. We kept doing that every few weeks, every couple months. I think the last short we worked on as a group before I had to move and some other things happened, I think we had 55 people there. That was all volunteer. It was all just people wanting to be a part of something fun.
Yeah.
And get the opportunity to do something a little bigger, a little more unique. I learned a lot there about leadership because it wasn't really trying to put a team together. It was, hey, I want to do these ideas. I talk to friends about it. They want to do those ideas. And then it just kind of spreads. And you learn that you need more than yourself to do those things. And
more skill sets.
More skill sets.
More perspectives.
Yeah, more expertise. And we all learn. And what's really cool is most of that crowd is now in production in some level or another.
Yeah.
They some of them are writing and directing, have stuff in festivals all over. Some of them are in like more traditional production. Some have their own agencies. Some have worked for some of the biggest organizations in our state, like just that are like leading teams and stuff like that. And we all kind of have that shared history of rubbing elbows together for free.
Yeah.
And just having fun while creating. Yeah.
And you now have your own agency too. Oh, look at you. So talk more about like the decision to like do like work with a team again and lead a team again versus like just being a one-man show, jack of all trades.
Yeah. I mean, I was a full-time freelance contractor for decades. Yeah. Thank you. But and that paid the bills.
Yeah.
And for a while, I was kind of just doing other things. Like I kept having that to help pay the bills, but got to play in a band, tour around a little bit, which now serves like that history of what I learned there serves a lot as well. Got to move across state a few times. That's where we met.
Yeah, I keep trying to jump to the part where like you met me.
I lived so much life before. So much life. Moved a few times, and then it wasn't. And I actually tried to start a few other businesses, and we did start a few other businesses.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I was like, hey, this would be a good idea. Let's go chase it.
Yeah.
With different people, different outlets. A lot of them were creative in one way or another. But moving back to Dallas for a completely other reason after we met, moved to Dallas, and while I was here, started freelancing again, and it was going well. And then during the pandemic, a lot of my clients needed a lot more video all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it wasn't kind of setting out like, I want to start an agency. I want to do this. It was mostly just helping the people around me and like our clients that needed extra help, and some friends that I know can do production, even if they weren't in production at the moment. When work was scarce, it was easy to send some their way.
Yeah.
The ones that were really good and we worked really well together eventually turned into our lead editor now, told me like, hey, I can't do this freelance anymore. I need to be full-time. So we figured it out. Figured out the business logistics of what it takes to hire somebody and do it the right way, what it takes to get health insurance as a company.
Yeah.
To do payroll, to do all this other stuff that has kind of taken me away from some of the creative, but is enabled to bring even more creative and even more talented people, I think, to come. And now we're all get to do what we're really good at together.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's fun.
What does it feel like leading a team versus like leading creatives versus being one of the creatives?
I miss it sometimes.
Yeah.
The creative getting my hands dirty, so to speak.
Yeah.
But sometimes I still have to.
Right.
Depending if it's a busy season or what. But I enjoy the team aspect more.
Yeah.
And plugging the right people into and kind of quarterbacking whatever projects and knowing, oh, this person will be great on this job. This person will be great at this role, and finding new talent consistently. And learning that lesson of the people that we kind of fall back on getting really cool opportunities to travel and be abroad. It's like, oh, they can't run camera for us anymore. I need to find more camera operators. And it's like consistently sourcing new creatives, putting the right tests, setting the right expectations, and bringing them kind of into the fold so that we can all do what we're good at together. It's been really good. The team part's by far the best part. And learning all the business stuff and the behind the scenes and what it takes has been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched you wear both hats really well, and it's really fun watching you because when I met you, you were just the guy behind the camera, and I was in front of we actually met. I was in front of the camera doing at one of the churches that you were working at. That's the one I worked at, and you were filming me, and that's how we met. And that was you. Like, you were just bringing your camera places and doing
driving
shoots.
from Dallas to Houston to capture your footage.
But it's been really cool watching you shift into the entrepreneur, business owner role and lead creatives, because you're really good at that. And I think it's I think you stepping back and forth between the creative hat and the business, the creative leader and the business leader. I think that's a skill set, just transitioning back and forth. You do it well.
Thank you.
Hey, quick favor while you're listening. If you're enjoying the show, hit that follow button so you never miss an episode. And if you even get one nugget of value today, share it with a friend or leave us a quick review. Thanks for being here. Now back to the show.
Yeah.
So we met back when you were the one-man show. And then when the agency started, I wasn't a part of it yet. My creative experiences and leadership experiences really kind of started out in the church too. I was homeschooled all throughout my childhood. I'm one of 8 kids. And I think that brings a lot of stereotypes to mind for people when I say, every time I tell this story, they're like, oh, you were one of those.
It makes holidays fun.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, now especially because everyone's grown. Being homeschooled, I think a lot of people are like, oh, you got to do whatever you wanted to do. And you probably got to, you probably never did schoolwork. I did. I actually did. I actually did pretty good in school. Yeah, it enabled me to do a lot of really cool things.
You learned a level of responsibility at a younger age than a lot of people have the opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, I was self-directed for a lot of it. And I got to have a lot of volunteer opportunities at my church. I got to lead a lot of things at a young age. I got to see and learn from a lot of incredible leaders. And because of all those opportunities, I got to see a lot of behind the scenes. I got to see people on and off stage. I got to be on stage and speak on stages and do a lot of that stuff at a very young age. And just learn a lot of life lessons at a young age. Maybe not even from first experience, but watching other people too. During that time, I was kind of on a path to be a pastor and be in full-time ministry. And I was simultaneously working towards my degree in education because my parents told me ministry is not a good career path. It's not going to help you make a living. You need to go and be a teacher because that's the way to make a solid living. There's so much money in education. But I come from a long, long line of teachers. And so it was a surefire way to success for them. And I'm super proud of the teachers in my family. Anyway, I actually ended up enjoying teaching a lot more than I thought I would. And bouncing back and forth from being in the classroom with kids every day and then leading on stages at church. And all the things I was seeing from just all of the opportunities that I was receiving, what it eventually led to me deciding when I graduated from college to go teach instead of take a full-time job as a pastor, right out of college. Because throughout all of those experiences, I had learned, and what felt true to me is that even though I felt, and I still believe this to this day, I mean, churches make such a huge impact in the communities that they serve. Pastors leave such an incredible mark on the lives of the people that they leave. And I mean, I can name countless people who've made a tremendous impact on mine who were pastors to me. But I couldn't let go of the impact that I was making every single day in kids' lives in the classroom. I mean, that impact was so tangible to me. And I couldn't give up the opportunity to make that kind of impact. And so I chose to be a teacher. And I think we got married like right after my first year of teaching.
Yeah.
I mean, I still did a lot of different ministry experiences all throughout my teaching career, which wasn't very long. I was only in the classroom for about 4 or 5 years. But in that experience, it really taught me that it's those everyday moments. It's the daily, the consistent interactions and touch points that you have in a person's life.
Yeah.
The conversations you have, the things that you say to people over and over again, especially with kids. But I think we underestimate how the things we say with kids still work with adults. I mean, the things that we hear, even just subconsciously, they do something to the way that we think.
They do.
And so in 2020, when you started the agency, I shifted from teaching and started my own business. And that led to mostly a copywriting and marketing roles for the businesses that I served. Eventually, we married our businesses. And because we realized that we were kind of consulting on each other's projects.
We were serving a lot of the same clients.
Yeah.
Just in different but congruent ways. You were writing marketing copy for them. I was turning that copy into video. And yeah, it made sense.
Yeah.
To work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've just been doing it ever since.
And it's been good.
Yeah, it's been good. We have been able to work on a lot of projects together, and that's been really fun. But we wear different, we serve in different roles. Like we wear different hats. You typically operate more on the production end of things. And whenever there's something more story or marketing oriented, I kind of step in and we collaborate on that because you chime in on marketing projects too here and there. And it's super helpful.
Yeah.
I think that what I've been able to apply from teaching to marketing is kind of like what I said about those consistent daily touch points. And this is what, I mean, we talk about this all the time with our clients, branding is not just a one and done process. When you figure out your messaging, you're not done. You put it on your website, you slap it on your website, you're not done. It's a practice. You have to consistently be reinforcing those messages to your audience, to your team, to yourself, but especially to your customers. Because even if you say one thing one time, maybe you are pitching a product or you are nurturing your audience and kind of warming them up to a concept. Talking about a pain point that they deal with often. And you are speaking to that pain point because you're about to provide the solution to that pain point with your product or your service. If you say it one time,
it's gone. It's lost in the noise.
They haven't necessarily hurt you.
No.
You have to say things over and over again. It's consistency that makes things heard. And so when you're thinking about your messaging, when you're thinking about your marketing, it's not just these individual pieces that are going to get the message across.
Yeah.
You have to make decisions about how you're going to show up, what your presence is going to be, because it's the daily touch points that matter. People often remember what you say, but the reason they remember what you say is because of when you're there and how often you're there. People don't always remember how often you show up, but they remember what you say when you show up because of how often you show up. So the reason why we shared just a little bit of our stories today is because we believe that businesses should always be focusing and shedding light on the stories behind the company. And we shared a little bit of the background of our stories. We encourage businesses to do the same. So if any of this resonated with you, we talked about a couple of things like being scrappy as an entrepreneur.
You can't undervalue scrappiness. You got to have it. You got to be able to get places with limited resources and use creative means to maximize that time and that resources. But you're going to hit a wall eventually. And that's where a team comes in. And if building a team is challenging, I guess our best advice, at least from my life, if you do cool stuff, and you give good people like decent opportunities, you empower them, you treat them well, they're gonna keep coming back and the team will kind of build itself.
Yeah. They're going to get behind your momentum.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think my main takeaway would be that every touch point matters. Consistency matters, whether that's relationships or branding, it matters. If any of what we just talked about resonates with you, you're a business owner, creative director, and this stuff stands out. It's similar to your store. It's something that you can apply as you lead your team. Stick around, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have questions, topics that you'd like for us to cover, we hope you'll leave that in a review. That also helps us reach a bigger audience and serve more businesses. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Known For podcast. We'll see you next time.
Known For is a Griffith Media podcast recorded on the volume wall at Big Screen Studios in Dallas, Texas. This episode was produced by the Griffith Media team. Find out more about our agency, how we can help your business grow through marketing, video, and design at www.griffith.media. Or find out more about the studio at bigscreentx.com.